SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Southern Metalworks is the stop for deals on pre-engineered metal buildings, pole barn kits, and all metal building components. Financing is available. Southern Metalworks, Highway 51, Southeast Bogue Chitта. Call 601-734-3999.
And now, Sports.
Get ready, sports fans. It's time for Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the SuperTalk Mississippi app and on your Amazon Alexa devices. Chasing Foul Balls, your weekly source for all the sports news and interviews important to Southwest Mississippi. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank. And now, here's your host, Robbie Hamilton.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Glad to have you along with us. No doubt about that. Thank you, Randy. I thought I was in the cave again. Some people say that's where I belong, is in the cave, but that's okay, too. A couple things before we get started this morning, guys. Had a lot of people ask, and on the website and on the Facebook page, the name of Coon Leahy. And we didn't know it. We talked about Coon dying last week, and nobody knew his name. So we went to the source. Now that the Big Daddy's died, the official historian for Mid County, B. Wilson. His name is Dickie Gerald Leahy. Nobody really seems to know where he got the nickname Coon, but they think it came from one of his uncles. And when he was a really young little boy, called him just Coon about something, and it stuck. And if you notice the obituary in the newspaper, it didn't say Dickie Gerald Leahy had died. It said Coon Leahy had died.
Well, nobody would have known who that was.
I reckon so. I just wanted to get that out there. People that ask about that. Also, congratulations to the SuperTalk family. They raised $392,565 yesterday in their radiothon for the Palmer Home for Children. So a big congratulations goes to the SuperTalk family for that job, to say the least. Today, Coach Josh Watts, boys basketball coach out at Parklane, will join us. And one of the guys I've been working on a long time to get here with us, and we finally got him. Billy Watkins, the writer, the columnist, the storyteller. Billy will join us, and we can hear some stories from him. In the studio with me this morning, of course, the usual group back after his family trip, which we'll have to get an update on the family trip after a while. How you doing, sir?
I'm just fine, Robbie. Glad to be
Richard
back.
Richard Hay with us. Also, that's Richard Talladega Hay, by the way.
Yeah.
And on the other side, the General, Neil Randall. Got another summons this week, huh?
Got another summons, yeah.
Glad to have you back with us.
Glad to be back with you guys.
Let's go to work. Last week we had one thing that we wanted to do, and I sent out to y'all, but we never did get to it because we got busy. So I'm going to start off with it today so we make sure we get it in. If you could only keep 3 college football traditions, and I'm going to give you 12. If you could only keep 3, which 3 of these would you keep? Chief Osceola and his spear at Florida State, Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech, the Whiteout at Penn State, Rocky Top at Tennessee, Dixieland Delight at Alabama, Howard's Rock and the Hill at Clemson, the pregame flight of the Eagle at Auburn, the Cowbell at Mississippi State, the Yale practice and the 12th man at Texas A&M, Boomer Schooner at Oklahoma, calling the Hogs at Arkansas, or the pregame with the Golden Band from Tigerland at LSU. Now, that's the 12 traditions that is on the list. Mr. Randall, you first. What would be your 3 of these 12 to keep?
Well, Chief Osceola down at Florida State coming in on the horse. Out there's a paint horse, comes in and sticks that spear in the ground.
Renegade.
Thank you. Boomer Schooner, I just love to see that wagon and all those people hanging off of it.
Almost falling, yeah.
I love it. And I really think when that LSU band cranks up prior to the game, I think that's really good, and that would be my 3.
That one would brings the hair on your arm up when it hit that first note, don't it?
Most days.
Either that or the.
Careful.
Okay, never mind. Richard.
I think most people that know me know what my number 1 would be.
What's number 1?
Ringing the cowbell at State.
Oh, no. I don't believe that. Come on, Richard.
I just think it's okay. I can give you a 3A if you want to.
No, you done gave it to us. Go ahead.
No, it was easy. It was easy on that one, number 1. I think I'm with Neil. I think when Renegade Chief Osceola ride out there and that flaming spear and he goes around and he goes to the middle and he rears the horse up and he stabs the thing, that is just, I get chill bumps thinking about it. And the other one is Boomer Schooner. And because I still remember the day I was watching the game come on when they turned it over in the middle of the field. They kind of cut it a little too sharp, had a new driver from what I understand. He cut it a little too sharp, and Boomer Schooner went over in the end zone. And but that's pretty big to me. If I could add one to your list, if you've ever watched the guys try to hold on to the Buffalo at Colorado, that's almost scary to watch.
And one more to add. It's a new one. I think it's become one of my favorite, watching it through baseball, is the West Virginia team facing their crowd, singing Take Me Home Country Roads, and the crowd singing along with them. There was just something about that just gives you the chill bumps as far as a college team doing stuff together. Anything we left out, Neil?
I don't think so, but Richard came through just like I knew he would.
Oh, yeah. Cowbell City, man. What you?
I didn't know you were going to ask that question. I'd have brought mine today.
Oh, Lord.
Wait a minute.
I'm glad I didn't tell you.
Wait a minute. Richard,
what?
How many cowbells do you own?
I actually only own 2. The one that I acquired when I was a student, got all my stickers all over it, and then when I retired, they gave me a golden cowbell.
Oh, okay. Golden cowbell. Yeah. Good grief.
Not everybody has a golden cowbell, Neil.
I put in many years to get the golden cowbell.
You heard a lot of stories.
Yes, I did.
Number 2, these 4 days are probably the longest 4 days. If people that know me, no baseball on TV. You know, I follow the Braves every day, and I've become a Pittsburgh Pirates fan with Conor Griffin and the center fielder, and I like watching them. And we go 4 days with no baseball. Now, that stuff in between, the home run derby and the All-Star game is not baseball. Did you watch the home run derby?
I didn't pay the extra money to get it on the special.
I thought it was on Netflix.
So I said, nope, I ain't doing that.
I did not.
What about the All-Star game itself, the Strikeout Fest? Did anybody watch that?
Robbie, I had it on because after the first couple of innings, it is what it is because it's an All-Star game. But I remember the All-Star games when the winning team hosted the World Series, and it was serious business. And now it's just a exhibition game. And that's a loose term to say that.
How can you care about it? What was it, 26 strikeouts?
Oh, yeah, one, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
An All-Star game.
That's like me and you batting, Richard. In wiffle ball. 26 strikeouts.
That's right.
Did you watch it?
I had it on between Gunsmoke and Wagon Train.
I knew that was coming. I was just waiting to whether you could fit it in. Nice job.
Thank you.
And Marshall Dillon got the guy every time he gets it.
He did strike out 26
never failed.
times, I bet you.
Marshall Dillon never struck out.
That's right.
Next one. The day after the LSU Ole Miss game, that Saturday on that Sunday, how will Ole Miss, let's start with this way, how will LSU fans react that week if they go 0-2, lose to Ole Miss, and then lose to Texas A&M the next Saturday? How will LSU fans react to that?
Not well. Not well at all. They figure they're paying millions of dollars for players and coaches they're supposed to win. They'll be testy.
Yeah, the ones that donated a lot of that money going to want their money back and want a refund. Yeah, that's going to be a tough 2-week stretch, and I think it starts with the Ole Miss game, Robbie, because the psyche of it is going to be the interesting thing the next week. And
win or lose.
Win or lose.
Whichever team wins or whichever teams lose.
But
the next question, let's go on over. How will the Ole Miss fans react if they beat LSU but then lose to Florida?
I think that's a very good possibility, but I think it's going to be a way overreaction to beating LSU because, yes, all the stuff that's going on, but it's going to be such an emotional swing. If they win, as Jackie Sherrill said one time in a quote, these are 21-year-old kids. He said, "You can't. They're not pros. They don't balance. They emotions go up."
No, they are pros now.
Well, they are pros now, yes, but their emotional swings are still too big to control themselves inside of 7 days. And you got to go on the road and beat a very good and new coach Florida team. I think that's a big ask. But I'm sure the Ole Miss fans would say, "Put me in that position. I'll be tickled."
Oh, I think you're right on that, Richard. But, every week in the SEC, you got to get up and go play your best in order to have a chance. And, it just depends on the breaks of the ball game, who turns it over too many times and, who makes a big play. But if either way, Ole Miss is going to have a time getting up for Florida the next week. And is that a road game?
Yes.
I thought so, yeah.
Number 3, the new SEC baseball rules. They'll go with 3, and we'll just go individually. Number 1, they will go with the ABS system in SEC games. What do you think, Richard?
Well, Robbie, I like it. I think the part I didn't understand about the rule is it's going to be in all SEC stadiums because I thought I read somewhere it said if it's available.
No, it's SEC.
Okay.
League.
Okay.
Passed the rules.
So everybody's got
it. Not the NCAA.
Right.
This is SEC baseball rules. They will have ABS this year.
Yes, I think
coming year.
I think the thoughts coming out of the SEC tournament were positive about it because of the fact that you got a couple of challenges and, hey, you use them if you don't and the game moves on.
I have mixed emotions about this. Number one, you want to get it right. But at the same time, I do like to see a good row with the coach and the umpire every now and then. So this kind of eliminates that.
The batter minimum. A pitcher must face 3 consecutive batters. Of course, unless the inning ends. What do you think about the batter minimum?
Robbie, to me, that's starting to dictate too much about the coaching. I mean, if a coach can't tell, he doesn't have it, let me go get him. That's baseball, and I'm not maybe as old school as you guys, but I'm old school, and I like that's a management decision, and I think that's tinkering with the game a little too much.
I agree with Richard to a large extent on that. I think that's just one of those speed up rules that the majors put in a few years ago, and I'm not crazy about it.
2 throws to a base for a pitcher to hold a base runner close.
This one to me is ridiculous. I mean, make him throw over there twice, and everybody in the world knows he's going the next time. For the most part, I mean, I watch it in the big leagues. They throw over twice, and he's pretty. If he's a base stealer, he's going the next time.
I think that's overkill.
Amen.
Final question. I got this one and give credit where credit's due from McCready and Siskey, their talk show on MPW Digital. It's some numbers. The class of 24. As of today, blank percentage has gone to the portal.
Class of 24.
Yes.
I'd say 60.
I'd say 75.
48% of the class of 24 has gone to the portal. Class of 25.
I'll drop down and say 50.
60.
49% of this year's class has gone to the portal, which means for every 2 high school kids you have recruited, you only have 1 next year. And people want to know why they go into the portal. You go to the portal to get kids that's going to be with you at least 1 year, maybe 2 years, and staying. High school kids are not staying. 1 out of every 2 out of this year's class is already gone to the portal.
Well, I think, too, is, back in the day, if a top-notch freshman made it to campus, he had a chance to start. Now, they bring you into that position, they're going to go out there and recruit the best wide receiver they can afford.
That's the key, a forward. Yeah, and that's sad.
And that puts the young man that says, okay, well, I got to wait 3 years before I can play. No, I can go over there and play, and then maybe I'll parlay that into a better team that'll pay me a little bit more money. Anyway, it's a convoluted mess, in my opinion.
Well, it's like our buddy Reese used to say, follow the dollar.
Did Richard just say convoluted?
Yeah, but he can't spell it.
Oh, I was having to try to figure out what he was talking about. I wasn't worried about spelling it. I was just trying to figure out what he was talking about. Let's see. Coming up, we got Josh Watts, the new head boys basketball coach out at Parklane, to join us. After that, Billy Watkins, and we'll do it all on Chasing Foul Balls. It's right here on SuperTalk Pike County. Welcome back. Chasing Foul Balls Friday morning here in Southwest Mississippi. Boy, a beautiful day we got started now. Richard, good for the farming? Or too hot?
Too dry right now, Robbie. And what little rain we get, as you well know, the sun sucks it right back up, and they call that humidity, and we all really sweat. The next 10 days, 12 days is going to be critical for us down here in this part of the world, because we don't have irrigation like they have up in the Delta and up through the Midwest, but going to be tough. Tough on livestock, too, so it's going to be a tough stretch.
Well, join us on the phone, the head coach of the Parklane boys basketball team, the new head coach, and also horse trainer, Josh Watts. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing good, Mr. Robbie. How are you?
Oh, man, it couldn't be better to have you on the air with us, that's for sure. How's the horse business?
Hey, I tell you what, it's pretty busy right now, but I just heard your partner there talking about tough on livestock. It's been pretty hot. It's been pretty hot.
What does hot weather do to horses?
Excuse me, what, Mr. Robbins?
What does hot weather do to horses?
Oh, man, just it's kind of like exercising. If you're outside, they just sweat really bad. You got to be careful. You can't get them too hot. Then they'll kind of eat too quick, and they might, get sick. And so it's just pretty tough during the summer. We try to get up real early and get it done.
You went to Southwest, then over to the Harvard of the South at USM. When you graduated from the Harvard of the South, did you want to be a horse trainer or a basketball coach?
Oh, there was no doubt I was going to be a horse trainer. Yep, that was my first choice.
So you came back to Summit and went to work with Dad?
I did. Came back home, went to work with Dad. I didn't, have anything to do with coaching for about 7 years. And then the Brookhaven Academy deal came along, and that's kind of a funny story there. The guy kind of left in the middle of the year or before the year started. Anyway, I was just going to go fill in for a year just to help him out. That was my original plan, and then 12 years later, I was still coaching there. So.
And winning state championships, might we add?
Yeah, that did help.
That did help. Of course, now we talk about Dad. Dad is the legendary Dale Watts, the coach and horse trainer himself. How much influence did Coach Dale Watts have on Coach Josh Watts?
Oh, man. Most of it. Yeah, there's no doubt that growing up, obviously playing for him, and when I was at Southern Miss, I did major in coaching and sports administration, so I had to do some practical work. So, Dad always let us sit on the bench, and stuff like that. So there's no doubt the influence, 90% of it came from him. Now, I played for other guys. I played for Coach Wallace, Bill Wallace at Southwest. I got to hang around James Green a little bit at Southern Miss. So, there was a few things you could kind of pick up from all of them.
That's the next question. Outside of your dad, who was the biggest influence on Josh Watts' coaching style?
That's a good question. Shoot, I don't know, Mr. Robbie. I've always admired from afar, and I've never met Mike Krzyzewski, obviously, but, I've always liked the way he handled things and the way his teams played. Just from afar, that's one guy that had a big influence on what I wanted to do.
Josh, this is Richard Hay, and mentioning training horses. I guess it's the same way with trying to people. You have an athlete. The athlete does certain things really well. How do you get them to do things that you might be uncomfortable, might not think they can do? And how do those two kind of mesh, because you're so involved with horses for so long, but now you're coaching young men, young ladies. How does those two somewhat come together?
They're very similar. First of all, you're dealing with athletes. I mean, these horses we have are not, they're pets, but they're not, I mean, they are show horses. They're athletes. They're trained every day. And but just like athletes, there's some are blessed more than others. And so, trying to work on a weakness and strengthen a strength or whatever you need to do. But the big way that they're similar is when I'm dealing with kids, I'm dealing with parents. When I'm dealing with horses, I'm dealing with horse owners. So that's, hey, I promise you, I bet I learned more about that, about dealing with people and parents by dealing with these people that pay us to train their horses.
Coach Watts, this is Neil Randall. If you would, you mentioned your coaching experience at Brookhaven Academy that started out as part-time and went into a decade. But tell us a little bit about all the places that you have coached over the years as you are coming to Parklane.
Well, there's only been one job. I was at Brookhaven Academy, and Parklane is my second. So those are the only two coaching jobs I had. Obviously, I sat on the bench some at Brookhaven when Dad was coaching there. But no, this is it. I was at Brookhaven for those 12 years, and I'm starting my first year at Parklane. So that's the only two coaching jobs that I've had.
What do you know about the talent that will be at Parklane this year?
Well, we went through a summer program, so I got a pretty good idea, and I had a pretty good idea when I got there because obviously we played each other every year. The last 2 years we've been in the same conference, so I got a pretty good idea because I had a scout report on them for 2 years. So, but no, we went through a summer schedule. We practiced about twice a week, and then at the end of the month we went to MRA to a team camp. So yeah, I've learned a lot about them, and they're still learning a little bit about me. But yeah, there's a pretty good bit of talent right there, stepping in there.
Josh, is a kind of a difference. You went to Parklane, your first 6 years when your dad was a coach there.
Right.
Then you went to Brookhaven Academy for your last 6 or 7 years.
Right.
Then you coached at Brookhaven Academy, and now you're coming to Parklane to coach. A really strong tie between two schools for one coach.
Right. Yep. When I was telling my parents about this, Mom's the wise one of the family, so she said,
I hope so.
She said, son, your life's come full circle. And I guess it has, because that's kind of where I'm going now, is where I started, and look, y'all both know, all y'all know this Parklane, Brookhaven's always been a pretty good rivalry.
Coach Watts, Richard Hay once again. I know sometimes this is dictated by the talent level you have.
Right.
But obviously over the years, as you've mentioned, you've gained a philosophy of how you want to play defense, how you want to run the offense. The offense seems now to be to run up and down the court and shoot it. Defense is, I don't even know if you justify playing defense anymore. But
right.
with your talent level that you obviously are familiar with up to this point, what do you see the Parklane Pioneers being? Are we going to run up and down the court, play hard-nosed defense? What's going to be the way with Coach Watts coaches them?
Well, number one, always, everywhere that I've ever been, we got to be pretty sound defensively. I mean, I just think that's the way I was raised. That's the way some of these coaches that I've known have taught me. But that is the first thing. And we do want to be able to get up and guard. We like to get up and down, guard full court. Now, different game situations lead to different situations, different things you do. So, but that is number one. We want to be able to get up and guard. We want to be able to put a little pressure on the ball. And, yes, we want to run up and down the floor. I mean, we want to be just, the game of basketball has changed tremendously. Now we're sitting here, everybody's 5 out, dribble drive, shoot the three. Used to, we talk about Parklane, and Mr. Robbie may know what I'm talking about right here. In 1982, when Dad won overall, they're down there all inside. They didn't even have a three-point line. They just down there beating the snot out of each other.
Playing that rodeo defense.
There you go. So yeah, things have changed, obviously, offensively, even over the decade that I've been coaching. So, but yeah, we do want to be able to get up and down. We want to be able to guard, but we do want to be balanced offensively. I mean, we're not going to come out there and run up and down and go 0 for 5 and keep shooting it. We're going to do something different. Hey, let's slow down and get it in there a little bit, or all right, let's do the old Hoosier thing and make 4 or 5 passes before we shoot it. So. Again, yeah, I do want to do certain things, but just like you said, talent level and game situations will change how you coach as you start moving forward.
Coach Watts, this is Neil again. I'm gonna switch gears on you here just a second. I have heard that some states are allowing NIL money to go to high school players. Do you see that as something that's on the way, or I hope it's not, but
right. That's something that I haven't really thought would get into the high school let's say in South Mississippi. I just didn't ever think that would happen. Now, hey, I'm not saying it won't move forward, and that to develop. I'm like you. I hope it doesn't. I hope that we can really be amateur instead of playing. We don't want to be playing professional ball in high school. Yeah, so, again, that's the way I feel.
But if an adjoining state does it, then you got a problem.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, when they start doing it, they're just going to start putting pressure on us.
Right.
Josh, it's Richard Hay again. I guess where I want to go with this question is how do you balance what you want to do with certain situations and time? Now you got guys, and basketball in Mississippi has always been really good, but here lately the talent level has just been unreal. You got national guys being ranked number 1, number 2, number 3 in the country.
Right.
Where does that sit when you how do you defend a guy that's 6'10", got long arms, and is going to be maybe the first player off the board when they draft here in a couple of years, versus when I played, man, if you were over 6'2" or 6'3", you were a big guy.
That's right. Well, to answer that question, I don't know if we can defend him because I've been guarding for a few years. I watched him come to Brookhaven when he was in the 6th grade. He was 6'4" nothing, So, sometimes you gotta bite your lip and say, hey, boys, let's get up there and get it. But, you can – now let's back up. This guy we're talking about is on a really good team. So you start sending guys at him or double him or trap him. Well, hey, he just throws it out there and they hit a bunch of threes. So sometimes it's not just that one guy, it's who all around him. But you're all right. The talent level in Mississippi, and I'm going to say the talent level in the MAIS has changed tremendously over the past 5 years.
What about the Parklane basketball schedule for this coming year? What do you know about it? And, of course, the regions in that league changes from week to week, seems like to me. So I never know exactly where you are. Where is Parklane as far as region, and what does their schedule look like for this coming year?
Well, I haven't. Be honest with you, I hadn't looked at the schedule a ton. I mean, I've glanced over it, but the conference that we're in this year, like you said, it changes every 5 minutes here lately. But we're kind of in the same conference. We got it's Parklane, Copiah, Simpson, East Rankin, and Oak Forest. So that will be the region that we play in, and we're going to be in that whatever the biggest league is. I guess they're calling it 4A now. So it's just we're 4A. Now the Jackson schools are 4A also, but they have their own district right in the center of the state.
Final 2 questions. When you talked to your dad about this, what did Dad tell you?
Oh, about the Parklane deal?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of kept it down low for a while. I didn't. Me and my wife discussed it obviously for a long time, and so I kind of obviously I went and asked Dad, and he was all for it. He was excited about the situation. He thought that'd be a good place for me. Obviously, he knows, and I'm closer to home now. I still live in Summit. I never moved to Brookhaven, so being here, hey, I'm saving money on gas, really.
Making extra money already, aren't you guys?
We're trying to work on it, I can tell you that.
Final question. I want to get back to the horse business that you're in. What are prize-winning Tennessee walking horses? What kind of horse, or what are we talking about?
Oh, okay, well, old man told me, he said, horses don't have a market like, you're not going to the stockyard and you're not getting price of beef, okay? Horses are worth what somebody else is willing to give for them. And so, hey, if you've got a horse that somebody wants really bad, they'll pay a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, 6 figures from 100 to 350,000 in that range, and that's kind of top end. That's pretty high right there.
Pioneer Stables, y'all won a lot of ribbons for walking horses. How do you go about training? How do you know when you got a horse, just like an athlete, that's championship caliber?
Well, yeah, it's pretty simple. When they're really good, it's pretty simple. You can tell in 30 days if he's real good, and you can tell in 30 days if he's real sorry. So now that group in the middle, sometimes they're a little harder to figure out. Maybe you got to give them a little time, or maybe they got to grow in. And they're just like athletes. Hey, some colts come in here real tall, long, and lanky. Some of them come in here a little more stocked up. So yeah. But looking at them, it's pretty simple to tell when you got a real good one.
Josh, thanks for taking your time to be with us this morning. We sure appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Josh Watts, the head basketball coach out at Parklane Academy. We'll come back and we'll talk with Billy Watkins right after this. Welcome back Friday morning. Chasing Foul Balls here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Don't forget, you can hear any of the previous SuperTalk Chasing Foul Balls program on any of the podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere that you'd like to go there. Also, it's on YouTube now. You can go there and listen to any of our previous programs of Chasing Foul Balls. You can listen to on the internet by going to SuperTalk Pike County and listening to it there. Joining us on the phone, a guy I've been waiting a long time to talk to, Mr. Billy Watkins, writer, columnist, and storyteller. How are you, Billy?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing really good. Just talked to Josh Watts about basketball and horses. He said it was a lot of life, coaching basketball and training horses. You had owners and you had parents.
Pretty good life.
Both of them are hard to deal with, to say the least.
Yeah.
Tell me about, let's start. You said one of the biggest influences that you had was the fact that you grew up at a country store. Tell us about the country store and how you got started.
Well, my parents decided to open one, and it was kind of out of the blue. I had no idea what our family was getting into, but it was, y'all know country stores are kind of places that people gather, and when people gather, they tell stories, and man, I would just sit there and listen to them day after day after day, and it struck me that it wasn't just one or two people telling the stories; it was everybody had a story, and I just think that kind of planted maybe a seed in me, and it kind of grew. I love stories. And I think somehow, that made me realize I want to write. I want to write for a living. And I didn't worry about how much it paid or anything like that. I just felt like that's what I wanted to do with my life. And God's blessed me, and He opened doors for me, and it's just, I've been very blessed.
4 decades of being a reporter and writing stories. That's a long time and a lot of stories written.
A lot, but it goes fast. It really does. I mean, I retired in 2018 from the Clarion Ledger, and now I'm writing for Mississippi Scoreboard. It's a website that's devoted to Mississippi sports, but I look at when I hear you say that, 4 decades. That blows my mind, really, because it just doesn't seem that long ago. But that I started.
It's kind of like we found out it was chasing foul balls. What is it now? 20-something years we've been doing this on and off as this show. But you never run out of people. Mississippi is full of people with stories to tell, and they want you to ask them and let them tell the story.
You're right on the money, man. That's the great thing about Mississippi. One of the great things about Mississippi is the people. It's amazing. There was a guy on TV used to go to a town, pick out a town by throwing a dart at a map, and then go in there and open the phone book blindly and just pointing out a name, and that's who he interviewed, and it never failed. But that person had a story. And that's the way I've always been. Is I believe everybody out there has a story. Some are maybe a little more interesting, but still everybody has a story. And you touched on it great right there. It's a endless field of stories in Mississippi, and we've had some great people writing those stories. A lot of them are my friends and people before me, and the younger guys coming up now. I mean, it's fun to read them.
Billy, this is Neil Randall. Thanks for joining us again.
Hey, Neil. Thank you.
Look, man, I did a little research on you. Of course, we've had you on here before, but your writing covers, it runs the gamut. I mean, you've talked about the Apollo moon missions. You've talked about all the sports. And my buddy Mac Gordon told me that he taught you everything you know, but Mac tends to lie a lot. So, but
I'll tell you, Neil. I'll tell you now. In all sincerity, I'll say this. I call Mac my mentor, and I've had some good ones. Orly Hood was another mentor of mine, but Mac got me started in the business. He gave me a chance to write at the Meridian Star, and I've never been around a better newspaper man, a better sports writer than Mac Gordon. And he his father was a great newspaper man in South Mississippi. I just learned so much from Mac, and he and I are very close and still talk fairly regular now. you know, and I love the man to death. I really owe him my career in a lot of ways.
Well, Billy, and doing my research on you, I learned so many things about you. You've written, your writing is just so varied. You cannot be classified as just a sports writer, and I don't mean to demean sports writers, but you wrote about Bobby Gentry and a Dusty Delton Day, 3rd of June. And then I saw, and I was taken somewhat aback, you received the Richard Wright Award for literary excellence, and he's from down here in our part of the country. I mean, my goodness, I've got a big sign about him over at Cranfield, right out of Natchez. That, as some of my buddies would say, that's pretty high cotton, Billy Watkins.
Well, I was pretty taken aback by it myself, and really thought they had sent the letter to the wrong person. I never ever dreamed that would happen, but I was so honored, and I remember Willie Morris talking to me, you know, about Richard Wright, and had met him in France one time, and was just telling me he said, you need to pay attention to him. He said he's a great writer, and but I was honored, and it's, you know, even when I was in sports, I tended to write more about the people, the players, than I did the stats and all that other stuff. I mean, I didn't leave the score out like you know, I made sure I got the score in there, but I don't know. I was just always drawn to people, and I still wrote sports, but I also got into features at the Clarion Ledger, and that really opened up a whole new world for me to just be able to write about just anybody basically in Mississippi, and some of them were sports figures and some of them weren't, and I really, really enjoyed doing that. I appreciate the opportunity they gave me.
Billy, this is Richard Hay. I guess
Richard.
Since I saw that we were going to have you on, kind of thought, recollecting myself with over your time that I've been following it, and football season getting ready to come up. Nowadays, you know, everything's a string or a streamer, and people got all the electronic stuff we do. But back in the day, you had to travel to see, you know, Jefferson County play Bassfield, or you had to travel to see North Pike and Macomb. What were some of those small town rivalries that we all know about? The big ones, we still hear about them, but what are some of those small town rivalries that you covered that people are like, man, if everybody knew how big this game was, everybody'd be here?
You summed that up great. I mean, I love the streaming thing. It's convenient for, you know, people who aren't able to make the game and that kind of thing. I love that part of it, but I hope it doesn't, in the long run, keep people from coming to the games. I hope. But I'll tell you, you really hit a spot in the heart when you ask about a rivalry. I'll still say one of the greatest games I ever covered was between West Kemper and DeKalb at Enterprise, Clark County. And West Kemper won 20-19. Bud Brown, who was a great player with Southern and went on and played in the Super Bowl with the Dolphins, was playing for West Kemper. Jerry Price, tight end for Enterprise. He went on and played at Mississippi State. But that game was just it was just a perfect small-town Mississippi game. The sidelines were lined, and it was a one-point game. And I told people who played in that game, I thought somebody was going to get killed in that game. It was so hard-hit. It was just brutal. And I don't know what it is about that game, but it sticks with me to this day. And it's got to be in my top 3 games that I ever covered in my life. And but it's just typical of Mississippi football. It's those small town rivalries and it's just nothing like them. I mean, college is great. I love college football. Pro football is great. I love the playoffs in the NFL. But if I had to choose, I'd choose high school football every time.
How did you get tied up with Ole Miss? You wrote part of the University of Mississippi Football Vault, The History of the Rebels. You also wrote a book about a guy that's right here at Southwest Mississippi Community College now. You wrote the book, Bo, A Quarterback's Journey Through the SEC Season. How did you kind of evolve into the Ole Miss side of it?
I made the route during college. I went to East Mississippi Community College for 2 years. And then I went to Mississippi State for a year, and I had a blast there. My class attendance record wasn't the greatest in the world, but I had a lot of fun. But I decided I wanted to get into journalism, and my dad went to Ole Miss, and you know, growing up, you didn't miss an Ole Miss football game on the radio. And I grew up 45 minutes from Starkville, so I attended a lot of Mississippi State games, you know, growing up. But I wanted to get into journalism, and Ole Miss had a daily student newspaper there. Plus, my brother was going back to law school at Ole Miss, and so I decided to transfer up there. And met a lot of people, and just they say write about what you know, and I guess I learned a lot about Ole Miss and the programs and the people and that kind of thing. And I still have friends at Mississippi State and at Southern and Jackson State, but I just sort of started writing more about Ole Miss, and that's what I do now for Mississippi School Board. I cover Ole Miss for them.
Billy, this is Neil again. As you look back on your career of over 4 decades, who are some of the more memorable characters that you've come across?
Ooh, well, one of the guys. Yeah, And they're not all famous. That's the thing. But one of the guys was a guy named Guy Bush.
The Mississippi Mudcat.
There you go. You know your stuff. I knew that beforehand, but now I really know it. But I went to his house one day, and he was living in Shannon, and he had this ferocious dog. When I always ask people, "Do you have a dog?" You know, when I'm gonna go to their house. So, well, he failed to tell me he had a dog. That dog chased me back in the car. But anyway, once I got inside and we were able to sit down and talk, he gave up Babe Ruth's final 2 home runs in his career, and he told me about he didn't think Babe was. He said, I just don't think he can hit me. And he said, so I gave him my best fastball, and he said he hit it about 4 miles. And he said he got back in the dugout and told that catcher, he said, listen, I grooved that one. He said, just don't even put a sign down. I'm going to throw him fastball again. And he did, and Babe did it again, except that one went farther. And he said I just tipped my cap to him as he was rounding second base, and it was just funny listening to him talk. I mean, he played in the years where he had guys coming to him because he was known to throw at people. And he said a guy came to him before the game. He said, "Look, I'm married with kids. You know, just can you not kill me?" And he said, "I'll tell you what, we're just gonna call this thing off. I'm not gonna throw at you. Let's call it peace, okay?" And I said, "How long did that last?" He said, "About 1 inning." I said, "Were you really trying to hit people in the ear?" He said, "I was." He said, "That's how we played back then." And I tell you what, that gives baseball a whole new meaning back then. That was a dangerous game.
And there's no headgear back there either.
Yeah, you're right. But you don't forget guys like that. You really don't. But then I think about a woman I wrote about who lost her daughter to a serial killer and could not get a lot of help from law enforcement, and she and another mother basically found out who the guy was themselves. And I think about people like that who suffered great tragedy, and that was a fascinating story to me. Just people like that, it's just great Mississippi. I covered tornadoes, and I felt guilty going out there, and you're walking on splinters that was these people's homes just a few hours earlier, and I always felt guilty about it. But I was also amazed by the spirit of these people and how kind they were. And I'm just like, they just lost everything they own, basically. And they got a smile on their face. And that's a Mississippi I know. And that's a Mississippi y'all know. And it's a great place. It's a reason people come here and don't leave.
Billy, we got about a minute left. One final question. Did Lane Kiffin play Ole Miss, or did Ole Miss play Lane Kiffin?
I think Lane Kiffin played Ole Miss, no doubt. He knew where he was going all along. I don't buy this stuff, but it was a last-minute sit down, thoughtful thing. I think he knew where he wanted to go, and he was going to go, and I can't imagine doing that to kids that have given you everything they could and have put you in position to get other job offers and stuff. I'll tell you, September 19th, it's going to be I hope it's not as bad as I'm thinking it might be in Oxford. I really hope it's not as bad as it could get.
Thanks, Billy, for taking the time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.